The realities were not so pretty. And in a grubby corner of North London, British art would finally start to confront them. And all because of a murder. It was the morning of September the 12th, 1907. A railwayman had finished his late shift and was making his way through the back streets of Camden town. He arrived home to greet his wife. But on this morning, he was greeted with a shock. This brutal killing became known as the Camden Town murder. The killer was never found, but that night in September 1907 was a seminal moment in the history of British art, and that's because one painter dared to shock the whole country and paint it. That painter was Walter Sickert, a man dedicated to taking art out of the Edwardian drawing room and into the real world. For years, he'd been painting the insalubrious lives of Britain's underclass. A drunkard heads off to the pub. A singer plies her trade in a grubby music hall. And the rowdy crowd heckle from the cheap seats. But inspired by the Camden Town murder, he would make his most audacious statement yet. This isn't really a painting. It's a crime scene. Indeed, at first, it looks like a rather touching portrait of a wife or a girlfriend dozing away in bed one morning. But when you look closer, you begin to notice that Sickert has planted all these little clues throughout the painting that gradually and together reveal something horrific. Why, for instance, is the woman wearing lipstick when she's asleep? Why is she wearing jewellery when she's asleep? Why is she sleeping naked? And why have the bed sheets been pulled down? And then you get revelation number one. She's not a wife. She's not a girlfriend. She can only be a prostitute. And then you begin to notice more things, strange things. Her cold, yellow-green flesh, the twisted neck. And that's when you get revelation number two. Maybe she's not sleeping at all. Maybe she's dead. And then you've only got one question left. Who could have done this? And that's when you discover the final clue. This. A man's overcoat is on the chair next to her bed. And that means only one thing. The killer is still in the room. And that's when the most awful and devastating revelation of them all strikes you. You are the person in the room. You are the client. You are the killer. And this painting is your viewpoint of a crime you've just committed. You arrive at this painting innocent, and you leave it guilty.